So this is my recent build. Recently did a little upgrade to the system that I've been working on since about March of 2013, a little bit more than a year now. I started with a GTX 670 and a couple Revo drives and Corsair 212 cooler, and started playing with my Sony 40-inch HD TV. There since I've upgraded a couple of things. My Samsung 840 Pros that I have in RAID 0. I updated to a Thermaltake Big Water 240 millimeter radiator, and just a closed loop cooler. And then I eventually upgraded to the Heat Killer CPU block, along with 240 millimeter Phobia G changer. I got two Noctua fans on the back and two fans that came with the Thermaltake all-in-one system. I got my 500 millimeter reservoir at the top, and I had it on the side here. Not the most professional, but I had it up and down. But when I was doing this little upgrade, it ended up breaking. I got this case, the level 10 GT Thermaltake case. That was actually one of the first item I bought before any of it. It was actually a gift to me, and it was kind of like, okay, this is where I'm going to start. And ever since then, I've just been kind of adding a little bit to it. And I started off with buying one 27-inch monitor after my 40-inch TV, and I've worked my way up to three and one above it. It's the Asus I can't remember the model name, but it has a nice slim bezel. It was hard to find a bezel that was nice and slim like this. Matte screen. It's only 60 hertz per 60 hertz a second, but it works good. Then I got my Razer Death Adder mouse and my Razer Black Widow tournament illuminated keyboard. But the piece that I recently updated was my graphics cards, and I got them back when I was still trying to do some Litecoin mining, and I got the first month's power bill, and it was about $100 extra. So I could have been maybe making around $200 a month, possibly. But I just decided I might as well just keep the cards and have them as a longer life, and not really hurt them too bad, just mining with them. At that time, they were the Gigabyte WinForce 290X overclocked cards, and I went on a little bit larger venture, and I actually purchased a fifth card. It was a Sapphire 290X. It only had a 1010 megahertz clock, but I really liked the card and heard good things about it. And once I got it, I agreed upon all that because I was happy with the performance of the card. Since then, I have water-cooled the cards recently. I I used EK water blocks. I got them off Performance PC. It was the MSI gigabyte cards, the variation of them. Don't know the difference between them, but they're a full cover water block. I got 4 going. I don't know if copper's better than nickel or nickel's better than copper, if it makes any difference, but I like the copper look, and I always hear copper is good at heat dissipation. So that's the water cool water block. It's actually upside down, but I don't really read it much, so it doesn't bother me. And these are my 4 cards in SLI, or Crossfire, excuse me, and they're all 290Xs. The bottom 3 are Gigabyte Wind Force overclock, and the top one is my Sapphire Tri-X 290X with 110 megahertz overclock. And then I have it is a Cooler Master M2 Silent Pro 1500 watt power supply. That cost a couple bucks. And then the CPU itself is a 3930K modest overclock at 4.4, even though that's all mine really seems like it wants to do. I bought 32 gigabytes of Dominator Corsair Dominator Platinum RAM, 1866 megahertz. I have another system that I currently have the other 16 gigabytes in. It's a Corsair fan over on the side here, and a stock LED fan that came with the Thermaltake case. I haven't really done much in cable management, and the back of the computer kind of looks like shit. It took a long time to do all this. I had a Mayhem's Aurora liquid in the computer, and it really didn't do me much justice. It was kind of like running clay through the system. Seemed to clog a lot of things up. But I am getting a little not as good a performance as I would like due to the one radiator. It is a thick radiator. Don't actually know how thick, but I put this quick disconnect in over here, and I can just pop it undone, add another radiator or rad box, possibly a pump on the rad box. Don't know how I'd power the pump on the rad box. I could get a small power supply and jump it, or I could get some sort of AC adapter for the pump. Yeah, that's about it. My Fire Strike Extreme scores. I believe my top score that I've gotten with this is around 15.8 and change on Fire Strike Extreme, 15,800 and change. And I'll post up another video of some benchmarks, some thermals, what I can do for the overclock, and what I think about the cards. I bought them at a high price. If you could get them now at 5 or under, it would be a little more worth it. And then there's the Hynix memory and the Opedia, or whatever the fuck it's called. But it sure plays Battlefield 4 good with the Mantle driver. And then it's still, I swear it's still bottlenecked by the CPU at this stage, even with the Mantle driver, especially in Fire Strike Extreme. Really the GPU, or I'm sorry, the CPU, and it also, I'm not a professional, and I only had a two-card SLI, two 670s before this, and there's probably still a lot I got to learn, but I believe I am one of the only people with the water-cooled four-way 290X Crossfire, and I'm going to keep putting up videos of some gameplay and some benchmarks. Alright boys, see ya.